Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Let's Play solo series. This is Minecraft Let's Play, Vanilla Minecraft, where we just play our forever world. We're doing some building tips and tricks. I'm also kind of introducing y'all to how Minecraft is played, and just kind of giving y'all some useful information. If you haven't been watching the series, that's okay. If you're interested, it's over on my YouTube channel. It's under the playlist for the Let's Play solo series. So if you are interested and you enjoy this video, maybe you want to check out the other ones. But today I want to do some exploration. We've got our map here. So I want to do some exploration, and I want to talk about future-proofing your worlds. Now with the new Minecraft updates, Mojang's getting better at like including the new updates into your current world. But there are still things that, like, when you load chunks in your world, it can't reload them at a later date. So you kind of want to lay out your world in a way that is future-proof, basically. And if you don't understand how to do that, that's okay, because I'm going to explain it in this video. Before we get to the future-proofing, I just kind of wanted to show you around the base, show you kind of what we've done around the area. If you notice over here, I don't remember if I showed this building last episode or not. But this is our library. We're gonna decorate this a little better, blend it into the terrain, make this more of a cliffside. I just haven't got there yet. But I'm sticking with the black stone trim and then some bright color, whether it's wool, redstone, things like that. Halo bee, you're gonna get stuck in there. But yeah, this is kind of what we got so far. This is kind of our main base, which I keep saying I'm going to do the interior of this, but I still haven't done it yet. But I'll definitely get around to it. I have done a little bit of like a deck area that needs to be fenced in eventually. I just haven't got that far either. I moved my bed up here, but I don't think that's going to be the final area where it stays. So expect that to change in the future. But yeah, I just wanted to get ready and prep to explore our world. If you don't know, I showed you how to make a map in, I believe, episode 2, if I remember correctly. So if you're not sure how to make a map, I'd advise going back and watching that video. But for now, I just kind of want to put all this stuff up that I'm not using. And yeah, get ready to prep for exploration. So when you're exploring, you need quite a few things to keep you going. So the first thing I'd advise is bringing a bed with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a new bed to bring with me. You'll also want to bring a crafting table. Sword, you'll want to bring a lot of food. Probably want to bring a chest or two in case you need to drop some stuff off. Got some food here. Do I have more food somewhere? Might not, actually. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this up. So boom, I'm just gonna take 4, should be plenty. Then let's make our bed. And then last but not least, we want to make ourselves a crafting table. You want to bring a couple of extra tools in case you find some materials you don't have and you want to collect them to bring them back to your base. So like saplings, things like that. I'm going to put this iron pick back in the chest, actually. You'll want some torches. I'll probably bring an extra axe just in case. I probably don't need the extra shovel right now, but I'll keep it anyways. Oh, I made a food chest. That's why I couldn't find food. It's down here. Ah, there we go. Yep, I knew I had food somewhere. So I'm going to cook this up a bit and explain how we're basically going to future-proof our world. I'm going to give a brief overview, and then I'll kind of go through the steps on how I prep my world for future. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or hit me up on Twitter, Darkskywolf91, if you're not sure about something. Alright, so this is kind of a map. So you want to make sure you have your home map set somewhere near your base. Or if you have multiple bases, have multiple maps. The way we're actually going to do this, we're basically going to run an X through the map. And then we're going to do a line around the outside. Just one line and an X. The reason being is after you've generated parts of the world, so like this part up here in the top left has already been generated. So to future-proof it, it's not going to regenerate this area. So you don't want to fill in this whole map because then you'd have to travel over a map whenever new updates come out. So it's better to just make an X and have some blank space near your base. And then do a line around the outside. This will give you an idea of kind of what biomes are around and get you prepped. But there's one other thing I want to take with me on this journey, and that is a boat. So let me go ahead and make a boat real quick. Go ahead and make another pickaxe in case we need it. If you don't know how to make a boat, it's a shovel and a wood. In this pattern, like, oh, actually, did they take that out? Okay, so you don't need the shovel anymore. It's just this little pattern here. U pattern makes a boat. I'm going to take some blocks, but not that many blocks. I'm going to take stone just because I got so much of it. And yeah, we'll let this melt up, and then we'll get to exploring. A stack should be good enough, but we'll see. You also probably want to make sure you're kitted out in armor before you do this. You'll want to keep your map in your offhand so it can fill in as you're exploring. But yeah, we're gonna hopefully, we need to be heading, is this the direction we want to be heading? No, we want to be heading like that direction. Yep, just waiting on this to kind of cook up. I am going to automate this eventually. I just haven't got around to it yet. But while we wait for that to smelt, I just want to take you around and show you this real quick. So this is where I'm going to store all my like enchanted books, lapis, weapons that are enchanted. So this is level 30 enchant table, so I'm not going to actually enchant this, but just notice it's efficiency 4, level 30s. So it is a level 30 enchanting table, which is the highest level you can get. I've gone with kind of a gray flooring and an andesite roof, basically. And eventually I'm going to like morph this into landscape. There'll be like cobblestone kind of encompassing the corners to make it look like it's built into the area, kind of like this. Because we want to make it look like it's structurally sound. But I've got 24. That's probably enough. So I'm just going to go ahead. And basically, we're just going to kind of start out in this kind of X direction. It's good to have a boat in case you come across a lot of water. You can get across it easily. But yeah, we're basically just going to go from corner to corner. And then do one loop around the outside. If you really want to be conservative with future-proofing your world, you could just start with the X and not worry about the outside line. Or vice versa, you could do the outside line and not worry about the X. The reason I say do the X is because if you just do the outline, you won't know kind of what's in the middle of your map. And then you would want to also, if you don't do the outside, you don't know what biomes are on the outside. But yeah, and what I advise you look for on your journey, if you're a builder like me, is you want to look for trees that you don't actually have. So I know I've got birch, I've got oak, but I don't have much spruce, I don't have any jungle or even dark oak, honestly. So I want to keep an eye out for those kind of biomes, and then keep exploring for that. You do want to be careful as you're exploring that you don't fall into these ravines that can be around, because that could be for a bad day if you fall into that ravine and then you can't find your way back and you lose all your stuff. It's not a good time, but I mean, it's part of Minecraft. You can punch this to death, or you can use your wood axe, either one. Let's see. Man, look at all these mobs out here. So yeah, this is some spruce trees, so let's go ahead and cut down 1 or 2 of these. Ideally with spruce, you want to try to get 4 saplings so you can get the giant spruce tree. Spruce is a good wood just because it's so easy to get lots of it. So yeah, try to get 4 spruce saplings on this journey. And do your best to not leave floating trees. Nobody likes floating trees on Minecraft. That's like the #1 rule. Never leave floating trees. But yeah, that's 1. Let's see, I need a couple more. I guess a few more, actually. Now, if you want to, while you're exploring, and if your PC can handle it, I believe if you go in here to video settings and change the render distance, it will actually show more up on your map. As you can see, my frame rate drops when I go up that high. Especially while it's trying to stream as well. Let me turn that back down a bit. Right, that looks good. Sweet, so let's pick up these saplings that have dropped. Hopefully there's 4 here. Still doesn't look like we've got 4 yet. Man. Nope, there's 1. There we go, now we got 4. So yeah, you can get a few extras if you're a little worried about it, but 4 typically does good because they'll typically drop, like, easily drop 4 saplings whenever you chop down the big tree. But yeah. So spruce wood, oak wood, dark oak wood, and jungle wood all have that same effect where if you put 4 saplings together, it makes 1 big tree. Now, jungle and spruce can grow single-handedly, so you only need 1 seed to actually grow one. But, Dark oak has to have 4 to grow unless you're going to use bone meal on it. So, like, to future-proof, what I mean by that is, like, now that I've loaded, what you see loaded on the map, these are all chunks that have been loaded, so you can't reload these in the future. Now, luckily, Mojang's actually getting really good, especially with the Caves and Cliffs Update Part 2, where they're able, because of the way Caves and Cliffs Update 2 is, they're able to actually create the world underneath of your current world, because technically this was never there anyways, because you stop at Bedrock on this version. So it's easy for them to equip it. But, like, for example, if this was back when they added the aquatic update, you wouldn't have been able to get coral reefs in this area that I have already explored, because it couldn't reload those new areas into it. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, this is a good reason to have a boat, because it'd take forever to swim across this. Ah, there's a little obsidian ruin down there. Nether ruin. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to see what terrain is around, because some of the terrain I'm missing in my world is a mesa biome to get all the terracotta, a good sand or desert biome to get sand for glass and concrete. Also looking for a gravel mountain so I can get gravel for concrete. And then, of course, all the different types of trees. It'd also be nice to find, like, a village as well. Of course, there's not going to be any villages out here in the middle of the ocean. And it's up to you. You can, like, beach that island and then traverse it that way. I just like to kind of go around it. Make sure I'm still heading in the correct direction for this kind of X down the center of the map. I think I'm going to try to drive around this one as well. I don't think it's that big of an island. Could be completely wrong on that. I think I see something over there that I might not have. I could be wrong, though. Might just be a... Oh, yep, that's Dark Oak Forest. Nice, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and cut down a dark oak tree and hopefully get 4 saplings. So you do need 4 saplings for the dark oak to grow, again, unless you're going to use bone meal. So you want to make sure you do that. But it's getting nighttime now, so I want to actually beach my boat and go ahead and sleep real quick. So this is one reason to bring a bed, so mobs don't spawn and start killing you. Because it's really hard to explore when mobs are chasing you. Alright, let's see if I can get 4 saplings real quick. Typically, when I'm searching for saplings, I like to just punch the leaves, because, I mean, they don't take that long anyways, and this helps speed up the process of it deteriorating, so you can hopefully get saplings quicker. You don't want to really use your axe, because it actually wears out the durability, and eventually it'll break, so it'll break quicker if you do it that way. That's why I like to use something that doesn't have durability, like my fist or a block or something. Alright, that's 2. Need 2 more. Chop down this guy and see if it gives me 2. Yeah, so this might be kind of a boring episode, because I'm just kind of going to be exploring. We might run into some villages or something. We'll see. It's just going to be a straight video, actually, and actually I'm already at 20 minutes. Wow. So yeah, I actually might cut it, and then if I like find anything interesting, I'll bring y'all back in. But yeah, let me do some exploration, get this X done, show you the outline, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Alright guys, we actually have found our first village. Alright, so this will be good to know. I'm sure there's probably one closer, but I'm gonna go ahead and go through kind of villages, and there's a few houses you can go into, and there's usually chests in here. There's usually iron golems, so you don't want to attack any of the villagers or anything, because they'll attack you. Typically what I like to do is take some blocks and actually block 1 or 2 villagers and houses, so if like zombies attack, I can regrow the village with those couple of zombies or villagers. So right now all the villagers are kind of out and about, so one way to get them to go into their houses is if you ring this bell, they'll like rush into their houses. So they're all gonna rush into houses. So once they're in there, I'm going to block off the door, just like that, just like so. And then let me see if any others went in. Did a guy go in here? Go on in there, buddy. Go on in. You too. Go, go, go. Nice. There we go. And that's just to repopulate the village in case they get attacked by zombies or something. You typically want to do this kind of pattern, because if you don't, zombies can actually hit them through the corners. So typically you want to do that. And then I'm actually going to sleep in one of these beds before I continue on. Excuse me, buddy. But yeah, you just want to block up a couple of villagers, because you can remake a village from just 2 villagers. And then you want to look for a blacksmith house, which I actually don't see one. I don't think there's one here. And then you want to like collect some of the crops. So like if you don't have baked potatoes, or if you don't have carrots, you want to collect the crops so you can start your own farms for those foods. And it looks like they've got a little bit of everything here, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Don't worry, they'll replant it later. But yeah, so now we got some beetroots, we got some carrots, and we got some potatoes. So that's the 3 foods that grow in the ground. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue exploring, and yeah, I'll bring y'all back in a bit. There will be a later episode where I go over like villagers and how they work and what they're useful for. I'm just not gonna do that in this episode, because that is an episode all on its own. So yeah, keep an eye out for that episode. It'll be maybe next one, we'll have to see. But yeah, let me go ahead and do some more exploring, and yeah, we'll be getting close to the end of the episode. Alright guys, wanted to bring y'all back. I've done about half of the mapping, I guess you could say. I probably would just do one more line here and one across to kind of get another idea. You don't necessarily have to do this other partial X. I kind of got a pretty good idea of what's around just by going over that half of the map. I found a dark oak forest, which is over here, and eventually you'll get to where you can like know what's what. But you notice how green this is in this one area? That's usually either a dark oak forest or a jungle forest. And then these areas kind of here in the green are more your birch, oak, and spruce. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference, but typically in spruce biomes there's a few brown spots. So you'll notice there's one there, there's one up there. So that's kind of how you tell. And then if you keep looking, you'll notice there's a bunch of like sand here. And then up in the corner, it's really hard to see, but that's an ice biome. So yeah, and then if you look even closer, you'll notice these areas that have a lot of brown, those are usually villages. So it looks like there's one right here was one, and then up here was also one. So those are villages. So just by mapping out that part of the world, I learned quite a lot about what's around me. The good thing about this now is like all this area that's blank has not been rendered yet. So if like for an update comes out that does overworld changes, when you update this, you can get those changes really close to your base instead of having to travel 10,000 blocks in one direction. So yeah, that's just a good way to future-proof your world. It's also a good way to get materials you don't have. Just do the little outer ring and then the X, and then as new updates come in, you'll fill up, say, this quarter, or this quarter, or this quarter, etc., etc. And then, like, once you kind of complete this outer ring, you can always move to another map to the right, left, top, bottom, either way. You can make a new map, map it out the same way so you get an idea of what's around. And yeah, it's just a good way to kind of keep yourself up to date, let you know what's around in your world. And yeah, it's just a good way to future-proof your world. So yeah, I know it's been kind of a boring episode. I just kind of wanted to show y'all how you can future-proof your worlds in case you're like me and you want a forever world. So for example, I plan on keeping this world for a long time. So I want to make sure that I can generate new terrain as updates come out and such. But yeah, as always, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, next time we'll probably do some more building, maybe do some terraforming around this area. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do next. But I definitely want to get these saplings planted so I can start gathering some more resources that I don't have. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. As always, it's Darkskywolf, and I'm signing off. Hope you like, subscribe, comment if you want to. You don't have to, but it's much appreciated. Anyways, I'll catch y'all in the next episode.